Hello, this is Zach Clark, Development and Leadership Coaching. I want to address with you today 2 lies that you have been told over and over and over again. And I know this is true because I've been hearing them all my life. And they hold us back, they waste our energy, and they really keep us from where our focus and our prayer and our effort needs to be. And I really want to put light on these 2 lies so that you can move forward, because there is a better way and there is a solution to this problem. So let's stop barking up the wrong tree. Okay, the 2 lies are this. Number 1, the first lie is when you're looking at your next steps, when you're looking at your vision for your ministry, when you're talking about the cost of the project or the cost of financial health and sustainability in your ministry, someone is going to say to you, Dave could write a check for the whole project. Well, you know, John could write a check for the whole thing. You'll hear this over and over and over again. Here is what I need you to hear from me today. It will never, ever happen. Now, I don't mean to say that John or Dave will not write a huge check. And I don't mean to say that John or Dave won't write a check for an entire piece of a project or piece of the vision. But John or Dave will never, ever write a check for the whole thing, your vision, and moving forward. People have wasted years and years of time on this kind of focus, wondering and getting frustrated. Why is it Dave hasn't written a check for this whole thing? You know he could. Why is it that John will not meet with me to talk with me about this? He could write a check for the whole thing. Stop listening to these people. I have seen people write checks that blew my mind. Gifts so large we never would have been smart enough to even ask for them. Funding entire aspects of a ministry in ways that we never could have imagined. But even those people did not write a check for the whole thing. There was always something else that we were moving forward to. God always had something in front of us. God will never call up one person to write a check for the entire vision. It doesn't work that way. In fact, if someone does write a check, I would say you actually don't have a vision. You just have a project that someone funded, and you're still not getting to the heart of what you're being called to do. As you know, Bill Gates right now is obsessively focusing on the impact of malaria and how this is so curable, so preventable, all these things, and it takes so little resources to address this in a big way in developing countries. Bill Gates could write a check, somebody would say, for the whole thing, but he's not. Why isn't he? Because the real vision, the real problem, the reality of the world that we live in, that these challenges are so big, it's so costly. It takes so many people to move along. And so many people will be a part of this and need to be a part of this. Stop listening to this lie. When someone says it to you, just take it in one ear, let it go out the other. It will waste your time, energy, and you will be praying in the wrong direction. It will never happen that way, and it's okay. Second lie is even more frustrating. And that is this idea that if we just had 100 people giving $100 a month, we'd have everything we need. If we just had 1,000 people giving the cost of a cup of coffee, we would have everything that we need. It will never, ever happen that way. It never will. Here's why. All you've done is simple math. It's what's called lowest common denominator thinking. And that is that if you're just doing math, if so many people gave us so much money over such a period of time, then we'd have all that we need. That will never, ever happen. Do not use that as a strategy. Okay? This is a lie that's been perpetuated by so-called fundraising experts in our culture for a long time. And what they have failed to tell you is this is just a tactic. It's just a tactic. It's just a way of helping people see, oh, I could do that. Yes, I could give the cost of a cup of coffee. But will so many people do that to fully fund what you're doing? No, they will not. In the fundraising industry, and you can tell how I feel about this, In the fundraising industry, that is used as a tactic because it becomes a predictable pattern. If you send 1,000 letters to people with that kind of lowest common denominator tactic, a certain percentage will respond, and that percentage will become predictable, and you just keep doing it. It's the same thing as direct mail marketing for sales of a product, and it is so not the way God really desires to work and fund and move your ministry forward. So here's the solution. Those are the two lies. I want to put light on them, and I want you to be able to completely turn away from them, because it will suck the life out of you and your time and your energy and your passion, and it will keep you focused on exactly the wrong things. So here's the solution really quickly. We can see in Scripture how God works and moves through His people. Number one, where are the resources going to come from? All the resources come from Him. So if you hang around me for long, you're going to hear me say, we don't have a resource problem. We have a people problem. Because God has all the resources, and He's going to use people to bring those resources into the ministry to advance the work that you're doing and that He's doing in the lives of people. So it always starts first with the Word, the message. In the beginning there was the Word. You have to have a message. You have to open your mouth and speak the words that help people see and understand what God is doing. You have to put paper and pen together and have these words written down so that people can hear and read and think and see and understand what God is doing in the lives of people in your ministry. That's number one. Number two, you have to help people see the steps forward. God tends to work this way. Cross this river. Go to this city. Attack this city. March in this way. Here is the direction that I'm leading you. Please be faithful. I'm calling you to be faithful and walk with me so that you can see me work. That is the steps. Number three, what are we asking you to do? You have a message. You have the steps. John, Dave, Jim, this is what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to seriously pray, seriously think, and make a decision about how you would respond and give significantly, whatever that means to you, to what God is doing. So that is the solution to these lies. Turn away from the lies. It will never, ever, ever happen that way. It doesn't, or it is a true lie that we are all being told over and over and over again. Put your focus on what is the message and what are the steps and what are we asking people to do so that we're really trusting that God will do what He does, which is show up and provide abundantly for the work that He calls us to. Put light on these lies with me. I hope this has helped you. I know there are people who do not want you to hear what I'm saying, but I really know this will help you. Thank you.